it's good to see the willingness of ASEAN countries and the willingness of Singapore in particular to be a moderator of this cooperation of ASEAN countries.
The topic discussed today were very, very relevant to the current situation in aviation. Those are the key challenges affecting international aviation now.
I think we learned today a lot of new things that could bring some added value to our European context, to our worldwide context that will put us in front of the new challenges that aviation is today, not only in Europe but all over the world.
I think if you think back 100 years ago, there was one man flying across a bay in Florida, and 100 years on we're transporting 3 billion people a year safely around the world in some of the most sophisticated and modern equipment that you could imagine. Aviation has become part of the glue that holds the modern world together.
I think that aviation has brought the world much closer together. It's also been wonderful for the global economy because it's really spawned a lot of innovation, a lot of technological challenge, but it's been met. In the second century, it's about reach throughout the world, but also how do we incorporate new, further emerging technologies, things like unmanned aircraft, commercial space transportation, all of which are offshoots of aviation, but which represent what the next generation looks like.
I think two things. One is to commercially liberalize the markets, because airlines need capital, and capital comes where their ownership and control is not restricted. Second is technology of security. This is to make all procedures to fly before it, all check-ins and all security checks, more comfortable for people.
Collaboration is of course vital, and I think that together with the regulators it's very important that we're going to find out new ways on collaborating on a global level.
I think there needs to be a much closer collaboration between the industry and governments so that we have the right sort of regulation. If we want to face the challenges of aviation for the future, we have to continue to invest in technology improvements. What I think is really important is the whole issue of the environmental impacts of aviation. Unless we're able to adequately address those impacts, then it's going to make future growth very difficult.
Personally, I want to do more to offset my carbon footprint from flying, and I think that each of us passengers should be asking our airlines, what are you doing to help me reduce that carbon footprint so that aviation can continue to grow without messing up the environment for everybody else.
In the 20 years, what I wish is anybody in this earth, policymaker, governments, state heads, they love the airline business.
You know, my aspiration, I guess, for the next 100 years is I hope it brings as much value and as much of a positive experience to people in the next 100 years.
Now everything is changing. We're much more interconnected. We're going through a generational change, and we're going through an explosion in new technology. I really and truly believe that the decisions we are going to make as an industry over the next 2 to 3 years will shape what aviation will look like probably for the next 50 years, and that is very exciting.